everyone, it's Lizzie. Welcome back to my channel. I have been asked, well, how has the budgeting process been working for you guys going from a fixed income household to now being on a variable income household? You have noticed that I have not been posting consistently, and that's honestly because I did not know how to budget. Yeah, it was a big shock to me because I am the budgeter in the household. We have budget meetings, but it's been a challenge. But I found something, a way that has worked for me. So I'm actually going to show you my process, how I use my bill tracker, how I use the paycheck budget sheet. And I think I managed to figure it out, at least for right now. We'll see how long this works. So hopefully this gives you a new perspective or a new outlook. If you receive paychecks that vary, this hopefully will help you. And I hope I make sense as I show you guys our paycheck budget, our bill tracker, and that inspires you to get on a written budget. So guys, let me go ahead and head into the room, show you guys what our paycheck budget looks like and how I managed to stay ahead of our expenses. I'll explain that in just a minute. So let's get into it. All right, so this is how the paycheck budget looks like for us. And you're gonna see something a little bit different, I guess. We still haven't finalized it, but I thought it would be nice for you to see how we're plugging in numbers. So the first thing I wanna talk to you guys about is the income. So I put in what my paycheck is because I still receive a paycheck. It's less than it was in the past because I now have my husband under my insurance plan. Therefore, it causes less of a net pay. So this is the amount that I did receive. I just put it in pink. So that way, when I plug in other numbers, I know that we are working with it based on my income. So the goal is to be able to save my income that's received. That is our big goal. So we've been in the process of figuring that part out. Hasn't worked just yet because the unpredictability, and we just weren't ahead in a pay period. I'll show you guys that in just a minute in the bill tracker, but essentially the goal is for us to just save all of my pay. Obviously, I do tithe from what I get paid still. That is very important. So that's what this percentage formula is. You're gonna see that this has increased just a bit because we feel that we want to give a little bit above what the usual tithe amount of 10% is. That's just a personal thing. I'm not gonna get too into that change, but $93 is what's coming from my income. $1,200 is what we're basing my husband's income. So he typically makes at least that each time that he does a job. So that's what we're basing it off of. So right now I'm only going to be discussing my portion of the pay. So $93 is going to be allocated for tithe or for our giving portion. And I will write the final number in here once we figure out the true pay of my husband. So that's why I don't have everything quite filled in just yet. So I have plugged in these expenses, and I'll show you our bill tracker in just a minute. But taking the income for me and subtracting the tithe, I am left with $525.95, and we would like to save that. So these are our sinking funds categories that we will be funding from my paycheck. So I wrote it again in pink just so we could figure out, and once I get my husband's income, we'll put in the final number, and I'll show you that in a later video during a review. So the sinking fund total for me is $177. And then the total emergency, which is the difference to be at a zero-based budget, we'll be able to put in $348. So with this retirement section, one thing that's super important, my husband, he doesn't have a 401k any longer because he left his corporate job. So we have to find a way to contribute towards his retirement. So we have to take a portion of the income that he receives, and then we'll deposit it each month into a retirement product. So we still haven't yet signed up for that. We will be researching and meeting with a financial advisor of what's the best product for him to be in. I want to have him be in a Roth IRA type of investment product. But all of the details, I am not like an expert in investments. So yeah, that's still going to be researched. This is a percentage. I just base it off of an 8% of what his base amount is. So that comes out to be $96. So this is kind of a rough draft of our paycheck budget, but at least it gives us a foot forward in dealing with this variable income. So we're just giving him a base pay of what the least amount that we would expect him to receive and budget from there. So now let's get into this breakdown. I'll show you the bill tracker so that way I can explain what I did. So this is the bill tracker, and I just made like little notes here of me. So this is my pay day. We both get paid this day, my husband, and then both of us, because I get paid bi-weekly. So what we are doing is we're a month ahead. So this amount right here, or these amounts from the 18th, have already been set aside from the previous week. So for the 18th, we are budgeting for this column, the 24th. So if you see, $325 is for rent, $25 is for electric, and then we have our car insurance. So let me flip back to the paycheck. You see this? These are the same numbers as from that bill tracker. Let me show you on the split screen because I think it's easier to view it that way. Okay, so this is the 18th, but we had set the money aside already from the prior week. So not this pay of the 18th, we've set it aside already. So we're a week ahead. So we will be setting aside funds from the 18th pay. We'll be setting aside the 24th numbers here that we wrote in our bill tracker. So as you see here, $325, $25, $48, $74. Gosh, I have to write in the $19. You see why it's so good to be ahead of the game. So I'll write in the $19 for the phone. So again, this is just a rough draft budget, and let me just put a little check mark right there. So yeah, this is just a rough draft of what our paycheck budget looks like. Being on a variable income, I think it's nice to have that week ahead outlook because that unpredictability, you just want to make sure that you're covered for your finances. So if you have a way that has helped you in your variable income that you receive, definitely let us know in the comment section down below. But figured I'd let you know I'm still in a work in progress with this variable income, getting the feel of it. So I know this might change as I budget along throughout the year and getting adjusted to the variable income. So definitely hit the thumbs up button if you got something out of it. And I hope that you stay motivated and get on a written budget. Figure out what works for you. Yes, it might not be perfect the first time, but the more you do it, the easier it will be. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in a brand new one. Bye, guys.